Hey guys, what's going on? So, welcome, day 5 of the S&C Workshop. Day 1, testing. Day 2, nutrition, recovery, lifestyle. Day 3, plyometrics, how to put that in your workouts. Day 4, we talked about upper and lower, how we can structure it. Day 5, we put it all together. So, super pumped about it. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this week. Hopefully, you've taken something out of it. If you haven't, just let me know. But if you've taken just one thing every day, then awesome. And if you haven't gone through all the videos, please do. I do think you will get something out of it, and hopefully that helps you with the off season and beyond, in season, all the rest. So today we're going to look at this program. We're going to talk about why I put it together. It's just tying all the pieces in, and then like I mentioned on Wednesday and Thursday, I've got an awesome opportunity for anybody who sticks around towards the end. It's a limited time kind of opportunity offer that's going to help anybody who's actually interested in taking their game to the next level, putting the work in, who's got a solid work ethic. Is that opportunity is there for you, right? And again, no pressure when we get to that point, but we'll just kind of talk through it. And if you're interested, and we'll go from there. So if we look at our program, the idea here is, like I talked to you guys about before, our testing is going to dictate our warm-up. So our warm-up, we're doing 3 to 4 minutes. Doesn't matter what we're doing in terms of cardio or whatnot. But we're just going to get warm, and then we're going to go into, this is just a generic kind of full body approach. So ankles, hips, upper back, shoulders, right? This is going to get us ready to go. It's going to make sure all the joints are moving. Some of them you might want to focus on more depending on your testing. So if you have tight ankles, obviously focus on your ankles a bit more. But generally speaking, this gets us ready for the workout. And then these next couple exercises probably get us ready for the workout on top of that, right? So reverse dead mills. And again, you can copy and paste this whole workout and just go do it on your own. This is what my guys see on their app when they log in and they go on True Coach. They do all their workouts, they put all their weights down, they check in with me on a weekly basis. So there's a whole system here, but we're not going to go through it, just to kind of give you an idea. So reverse dead mills, just super good to just get the quads pumped up, good for the knees. By the way, I take and I buy loads of programs all the time. I look at what some of these guys are doing. I try it on myself. I try it with my clients, and I try to see what kind of fits and what I like and what I don't like. Okay, so reverse dead mills, top notch, really good. Single leg balance work, it's a staple in everything I do. I just believe that it's a massive injury prevention exercise. Then we're going to go into some extensive plyos. So remember, we talked about this previously. Extensive to intensive over time. So we want to build the base early, hops, skips, light bounds, light jumps, stuff like that. So that's where these come in. Then we're going to do some lateral bound work, seated box jump work. So again, fairly low level plyos, building the base. We can easily progress these over time, focusing mostly on mechanics. So again, you'll notice it says, stick in the landing for 2 seconds, trying to cover distance, focus on mechanics, and try to jump off the floor quickly. So just gives you a bit of coaching cues as we go. Then we get into our strength. So we're going to do some quad specific glute work. We're going to do some hamstring specific glute work. Then we're going to isolate the glutes further. Then we're going to do some calf work and some anterior tib work. So the idea is we're trying to make sure that we're prepping the joints for what's about to come ahead when it gets more intense, gets more difficult, it gets heavier. A lot of times you'll notice too with if you see here, it's like with a 5-second hold or a 3-second as you go down eccentrically. This helps us build stiffness. The stiffness equals spring, it equals releasing energy better, storing energy better, especially in the tendons and the ligaments, which is a lot what we call is related to the shortening cycle. So when you look at guys who are super bouncy, who are super athletic, they tend to have very, very good functional stiffness at the ankle, at the knee, at the hip, and as a system, okay? So that's where you'll see a lot of pauses, eccentric work in there. Then from an upper body perspective, you'll notice that, like yesterday, it's pretty straightforward. Push and pulls, right? Pair agonist, antagonist, so bench to a row. I like to use a lot of dumbbells instead of barbells. This tends to be a little bit easier on the joints, especially the shoulders when you're pushing. Then we're going to go vertical push-pull, so push and pull. And then we're going to go a bit of core work, so you could use anything here. I'm just focusing on the bits that I find most people struggle with. I could even throw in some hip extension or hip flexion work, but back, quarter, or lateral core, and then some stretches at the end in the areas where I tend to find most guys are quite tight. So pretty straightforward. Those 2 days will repeat, but then on a Wednesday, this is kind of optional usually, but if you can, you try to do this. This is a little bit more rhythm. It's a little bit more mechanic work. So you'll notice a lot of jumping in here. A lot of rep ranges are quite low because we don't want to tire you out, but you will be. But we're just trying to get you more efficient at jumping. So jumping, 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 single leg here, double here, and then we have a little bit of knee health stuff at the end with Patrick step and VMO squats, which again, I really, really like to put in. It's a lot of knees over toe stuff, and it kind of just gels in with everything what we're doing anyways. So that's kind of week 1. So as the weeks progress, and again, like I said, you can rip this whole program off. As the weeks progress, we're either going to increase the reps like we are in the lateral bounds and the seated box jumps. We might just increase the weight like we're going to try to do here with our strength exercises, and then we're going to try to do the same thing with our accessory work. So notice how the structure here is warm up that we got from our testing, prehab work, 3 maybe plyo exercises or 4 max, maybe 1 or 2 primary strength exercises, and then maybe 2 or 3 accessory, okay? And then when we look at it from an upper body perspective, same thing, except now we're just decreasing the reps, increasing the weight. So you'll notice instead of 12 to 15, 10 to 12, instead of 10 to 12 on shoulders, we're going 8 to 10. Back work, this you might see, wow, well, you might be asking, why is the rep range not changing? Basically, we're always trying to stay within the 10 to 15 or the 5 to 10 range. And if you hit the 10, that's your cue to add weight. And then if you're holding, let's say 5 kilos or 5 pounds, and you end up hitting the 10 down the road, then you add weight. It's just a super simple way of doing things, okay? And again, all my guys see this. The videos are attached. They just track it. I tweak it as I kind of check in with them on a weekly basis. Then week 3, some of the things might change. For the most part, it stays the same. But you'll notice like the lateral bounds now, we're changing direction quickly. We're not just sticking the landing. Whereas the box jumps are just adding another jump. So I'm just kind of going through this fairly quickly because a lot of it's quite similar. But then where it changes is on week 4. We're going to go into a bit of a deload week. So we usually cut the volume in half, or we'll just literally maybe give you 3, 4, 5 rest days in a row. So we still get a few workouts in. So we've actually got one of all 3, but then the rest of the week you're off. And that helps you recover. So just imagine like every time you're adding workouts or exercise to your routine, you're causing your body stress. So your body's kind of like slowly declining because of all the stress, and then you give it a bit of a time. You give it a bit of time off. And then all of a sudden it goes, and it goes to this new baseline, and then you do it again, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. So it's not like a wave approach where you start at a lower kind of end, and over time you tend to go higher and higher and higher because your body's adapting. It's getting stronger, it's getting faster, it's getting more explosive. So that's kind of the idea behind the deload week. So just kind of for you to look at it one last time. Super straightforward. Warm up. We got some prehab. We got maybe 3 plyos. We got 2 kind of primary strength bits, and then the rest of it is mostly just accessory strength. Okay. Upper body, push, pull, vertical, and pull. A bit of core work and a bit of lower body stretch work. And again, you might not need to do the upper body because you're quite strong already. But most of you will probably have to do lower body, but you might not have to jump straight into this, right? I got my words mixed up, but the idea is obviously for most of you who maybe haven't built a base over time, you don't have a great training history, this is where you're going to have to start, okay? Some of the guys that I work with, especially some of the pro guys, like they have to jump in maybe slightly ahead, but even then, I'm still going to make them go through a prep phase because when we get into the intensive work in the off season, that stuff's hard. Like it's hard, and they're gassed. The rest times are high. That's another thing you should notice. Rest times, keep them high. When you're doing max intent, quality, intense reps, even if it's extensive stuff, it's hard on the brain. It's hard on your central nervous system. So you really need to make sure you're taking a lot of rest. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Obviously, like I said, this is a prep phase. I've got loads of different ones. Everyone's different, so I kind of tweak it accordingly. But that kind of takes us into what I was talking about, Wednesday a little bit, Thursday, and also at the beginning of the video, is it leads us into what I was talking about, this kind of limited time opportunity for anybody who really wants to put the work in. And this isn't me saying, you have to work with me. You don't have to do anything for that matter. But I'm just going to run you through just a few things as to why you might want to just jump on a call, okay? And again, like I said, if you jump on a call, one, it's because you're interested. You want to know a bit more about how we can get you from point A to point B. It's also just to find out a bit more about me, and for me to find out a bit more about you. I'm only going to work with people who are dedicated, who want to work, are going to put the time in, and are serious about getting better. If you're not serious about getting better, you literally don't have to listen to the rest of this. But if you are and you want to put the time in, then I'm interested in working with you, right? Because I'm all about it. I'm 31. I'm still dunking off 1 foot, 2 feet. I put the time in. I grind. I play my men's league games. We never lose for the most part. Like I'm competitive, and that's who I want to work with. So basically, off the back of that, what I was talking about is this opportunity right here, if this is somebody, or if this is you, right? So if this somebody is you and you relate to this, then I can help you, right? So if you find that right now you're struggling with your structure in terms of training, you train like a bodybuilder half the time, you do a lot of bicep curls, tricep work, bench work, row work, but for the most part, you just train like a bodybuilder. If you're doing the wrong exercises, so you're probably squatting way too much, you don't do enough plyometrics, probably not like I just showed you. You probably don't focus on your food enough. You probably don't focus on recovery enough, right? So you're not eating enough protein. You're not fueling yourself for performance with your carbs. You go to bed late. You're playing Call of Duty all the time. Like, this is probably some of you guys, maybe not all of you, and maybe some of you do way too much, right? Especially in the season, but even in the off season, like the amount of guys who do too much is crazy, right? And I used to be one of them, right? So I know exactly what it's like to do 2-3 days, try to get a lift in, play some ones for a couple hours, and feel like you're not getting anywhere sometimes. But it's because your body's not recovering. So most of the time, I hear a lot of these guys that I work with talk to me about these problems, right? And they want to get better, they want to dominate, they want to improve athleticism, but for some reason, they just can't get over the hump. And it's usually down to their programming and their systems. But if this sounds like you, if you've struggled with some of this, don't worry, because I can definitely help you. These are just some of the guys that I've worked with. So Danny plays in Spain. He's actually just gotten back from Spain. He's going to be playing probably in the BBL, which is the top league in the UK. He goes to GB camps. Jordan, he's the same, plays BBL for London. Top-notch player. He's going to be probably playing for the national team as well. He was playing for them recently, so they trained at the studio. Danny's there now. We were literally shooting about an hour and a half ago. Mike used to do some stuff with us, so he is in Jordan, I think, or Turkey. He's an absolute bucket. He plays at the Black Op runs in New York when he's back. He's from the States. So I was doing some programming for him and some performance kind of monitoring. And then Arian, he's a junior athlete, so he plays at like the best prep school in the UK. He put loads of work in. He was a little bit slower laterally. We need to kind of work on some skill, just getting him stronger. And that's what we did, right? And he got a lot better. So these are just some of the guys I work with, just to kind of give you an idea. And like I was saying, like today, it's there's no pressure whatsoever. But for a limited time right now, if you want to improve your game, then right now I can pretty much guarantee that if you wanted to give me a call, you want to jump on a quick one, we want to just go through what you're looking at doing. If I can't help you, I'll admit it, I'll tell you, and I'll point you in the right direction. But obviously, if you're looking at getting more explosive, you're looking at getting more dominant, you want to improve your vertical, you want to prevent injuries, you want to blow by defenders, you just want to get good results, and you're a basketball player, and you're going to put the time in, and you understand that, like, it's not just guaranteed. All these programs that people tell you that, oh, I'm going to guarantee you 5-10 inches, like, a lot of that's bullshit, because everyone's so different, and they don't take into account genetics, your lifestyle, your nutrition, your recovery, and your programming for that matter. So all these things play into account. So right now I'm offering 25% off the first 3 months of all my stuff, all my programming, whether it's just programming, whether it's full-blown online coaching, where we're looking at everything from your training to nutrition. It's 25% off everything. Only thing you need to do is, if you're interested and you want to jump on a call with me, you just literally come down here and you book a call and we jump on and we just kind of see what's up. You don't have to pay for it. There's literally no obligation for you to sign up at the end. It's just all about finding out a bit more about you, for you to find out a bit more about me, and seeing if we're the right fit if we were to carry on moving forward. So that's pretty much all it is. This is Danny's just kind of talking about how he's worked with me. He's worked with different S&C coaches in the past, but he's never felt like he could really put the trust of his goals, aspirations into what we did, right? Which is awesome to hear. Sean's another basketball guy. Danny's a guy in Scotland I work with. And we do a money back guarantee on everything we do. So if you really put the time in, you feel like you've done everything we've talked about, you've slept, you haven't played Call of Duty all the time, you've been top notch, then I'll give you your money back as well. So again, I'm not here to take your money. I'm here to help you get from point A to point B. That's my job. So if you're interested, obviously hit the link, book a call with me. We'd love to jump on a call with you. And hopefully, like I said, you've taken some stuff away from this week. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. All the best. Have a great weekend. I'll keep posting stuff in the group from time to time just to keep giving you some quality content as well. But all the best. Take care with the off season, and let's get it.